I'm doing part two of my favorite books. I'm doing number 6 through 10. Number 6 is You Can Buy Happiness and It's Cheap by Tammy Strobel. This book is really encouraging and inspirational because the author was in severe student loan debt and she told what she did to decrease her expenses so that she could pay the debt off. And I really love the book. And I know there's a lot of people out there in debt, whether it be student loan debt or any type of debt. So they can read this book and find out what she did and follow her examples. Number 7 is The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. The author is a former atheist. He did all this research to prove that Christ did not exist. And in doing the research, he proved himself wrong. He found out that Christ does indeed exist. And so now he's a Christian and he wrote this book telling all the evidence that he found out. Number 8, I am so obsessed with this book. I've mentioned it many times. This is the most beautiful book that I've ever came in contact with, and it's called Discover Your God-Given Gifts by Donna and Katie Fortune. I took this class at the church I was going to at the time several years ago. And I loved it so much, I bought the book and I've read the book several times. It's just so good. I love it. And the authors took the 7 gifts that are in Romans 12 and they studied people for several years from different countries. And they find out that everybody has at least one gift. Most people have 2, some people have 3. And the people with each of these gifts have a certain set of personality traits. And it's true because when I was taking the class and she was talking about the particular gift that I have as my most dominant gift, and she was telling the personality traits, you would have thought she was talking about me. I just could not believe all the things she said. It's like, yes, that's me. I do all those things. Those are my characteristics. But the reason people have all these gifts is because we need all these gifts in order for the world to go round. Not everybody has all 7 of these gifts, only Jesus does. But every human only has 1 or 2 or 3. We can't do it all. So we can do our part, and when everybody does their part, then the whole world can go around because we all have different gifts and different talents. So I'm going to go over the 7 gifts and these are motivational gifts. There are also manifestation gifts and ministry gifts that are mentioned in the Bible, but these are only the motivational gifts. So I'll go over them in the order in which they are in the Bible. Number 1 is the perceiver, and that is the eyes in the body of Christ. The perceiver just knows things. They have visions. Maybe their dreams come true. They can see things. They're a prophet. I do not have that gift. Number 2 is the server, and they are the hands in the body of Christ. They love serving people. They're good with working with their hands, and they are naturally fast. I do not have that gift either. Number 3 is the teacher. They are the mind in the body of Christ. They love to teach. They love to research. They ask too many questions. They love to read. They are usually reading multiple books at one time. And that's my number 1 dominant gift. I am a teacher. I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I have the teacher gift. Number 4 is the exhorter. They are the mouth in the body of Christ. They are the people person. They have the gift of gab. They love people, and they are the encourager. They love being around people. They love to talk. They have eloquent speech. And I am not an exhorter. Number 5 is the giver, and they are the arms in the body of Christ. They love to give. They are very frugal, not to get rich, but so that they can give to other people. They give not only money and gifts, but also compliments and time, and they give their talent. They just love to give. And sometimes they can give too much, and they give even if they make minimum wage because they're so frugal. They can do it. They can just make a lot out of a little. Now, yes, I do have this gift. I do have a really strong gift as a giver. That's my third strongest gift. I have 3 of these gifts. And number 6 is the administrator. They are the shoulders in the body of Christ. They are the natural born leaders. They just love to lead. They make good supervisors and managers and CEOs, and they're the natural born leaders. And no, I do not have that gift. And number 7 is the compassion person, and they are the heart in the body of Christ. And they love all people, but they usually especially love babies and children and old people and animals. And they are the peacemakers, and they are just the ones that'll tell you that it's going to be okay, and they're just so sweet. And I do have that gift. That's my second highest gift. And I don't know if I told you, but they're the heart in the body of Christ. I think I did. But what are your gifts? You don't have to read the book or take the test to know what your gifts are. You know by your personality traits. And when I see my friends and other people, I know what their gifts are just by knowing them. So yeah, I've talked about that book so much because I love it so much. Number 9 is a very controversial book, and I'm not saying I agree with it or I don't agree with it, but it's called Raising Hell by Julie Ferrota, and she's an RN. And she did a lot of research, and like I said, I'm not saying that the book's true or that I believe it. And she thinks that hell does not exist as we have been taught. She thinks that everybody will be refined and everybody will end up going to heaven. That's the long story short form of it. And all the Bible verses that people use to justify that hell does exist, she explains what it really means. And she says there's been a lot of mistranslations, misinterpretations, and misunderstandings. But anyway, you just have to read the book for yourself. I loved it. She did a lot of research. She did really good on the book. And I just love the book. But anyway, and number 10 is Chicken Soup for the Expectant Mother. So I love the whole book, but my 2 favorite stories, a lady was 40 something and had a baby. She didn't even know she was expecting. She had been trying for like 20 years to have a baby, and it never happened. So she thought she couldn't have a baby. And then when she was expecting, she thought the weight gain was because that was part of growing up. And she thought she was going through the change of life. So when she was having severe abdominal pains and she went to the emergency department and she had a baby, she was thrilled. Her dreams came true. I thought that was so sweet. And another one of my favorite stories in the book was a girl that was having a baby. I think she was like young and out of wedlock, and her parents convinced her to give the baby away. And she went to the hospital and to the nursery, and she just knew by instinct which baby was hers, and she just couldn't give it away. So she went to that baby not even knowing that that was hers. I mean, she knew, but nobody told her. And she got the baby back, and she kept her baby, and she ended up raising her baby. So those are some of my favorite books. So that's all.